discovery that exists in every little girl and little boy who know that somehow to look beyond the heavens is to look deep within ourselves and to figure out just what is possible. If light is flight, then Edison is light. Mathematics, earned her PhD from Yale and set out on a long and storied career. At age 37, and a full 15 pounds below military guidelines, the gutsy and colorful Grace joined the Navy and was sent to work on one of the first computers, Harvard's Mark I. She saw beyond the boundaries of the possible and invented the first compiler, which allowed programs to be written in regular language and then translated for computers to understand. While the women who pioneered software were often overlooked, the most prestigious award for young computer scientists now bear her name. From cell phones to cyber command, we can thank Grace Hopper for opening programming to millions more people, helping to usher in the information age and profoundly shaping our digital world. Speaking of really smart people, in the summer of 1950, a young University of Chicago physicist found himself at Los Alamos National Laboratory. Dick Garwin was there, he said, because Chicago paid its faculty for 9 months, but his family ate for 12. So by the next summer, Dick had helped create the hydrogen bomb. And for the rest of his life, he dedicated himself to reducing the threat of nuclear war. Dick's not only an architect of the atomic age. Ever since he was a Cleveland kid tinkering with his father's movie projectors, he's never met a problem he didn't want to solve. Reconnaissance satellites, the MRI, GPS technology, the touch screen, all bear his fingerprints. He even patented a muscle washer for shellfish, which, that I haven't, where is it? Dick has advised nearly every president since Eisenhower, often rather bluntly. Enrico Fermi, also a pretty smart guy, is said to have called Dick the only true genius he ever met. I do want to see this muscle washer. Along with these scientists, artists, and thinkers, we also honor those who have shaped our culture from the stage and the screen. In her long and extraordinary career, Cicely Tyson has not only exceeded as an actor, she has shaped the whole course of history. Cicely was never the likeliest of Hollywood stars. The daughter of immigrants from the West Indies, she was raised by a hard-working and religious mother who cleaned houses and forbade her children to attend the movies. But once she got her education and broke into the business, Cicely made a conscious decision not just to say lines, but to speak out. I would not accept roles, she said, unless they projected us, particularly women, in a realistic light and dealt with us as human beings. And from Sounder to The Trip to Bountiful to the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, Cicely's convictions and grace have helped for us to see the dignity of every single beautiful member of the American family. And she's just gorgeous. And she is. In 1973, a critic wrote of Robert De Niro, "This kid doesn't just act, he takes off into the vapors." And it was true, his characters are iconic. The Sicilian father turned New York mobster, a mobster who runs a casino, a mobster who needs therapy, a father-in-law who's scarier than a mobster, Al Capone, a mobster. Robert combines dramatic precision and, it turns out, comedic timing with his signature eye for detail. And while the name De Niro is synonymous with tough guy, his true gift is the sensitivity that he brings to each role. This son of New York artist didn't stop at becoming one of the world's great actors. He's also a director, a philanthropist, co-founder of the Tribeca Film Festival. Of his tireless preparation, from learning the saxophone to remaking his body, he once said, "I feel I have to earn the right to play a part." And the result is honest and authentic art that reveals who we really are. In 1976, Lorne Michaels implored the Beatles to reunite on his brand new show. In exchange, he offered them $3,000. And then he told them they could share it equally, or they could give Ringo a smaller cut. Which was early proof that Lorne Michaels has a good sense of humor. On Saturday Night Live, he's created a world where a band of no-names become comedy's biggest stars, where our friends the Coneheads, and cheerleaders, and land sharks, and basement deadbeats, and motivational speakers, and an unfrozen caveman lawyer show up, and Tom Hanks is on Black Jeopardy. After 4 decades, even in this fractured media culture that we've got, SNL remains a point of view, a mainland into not just our counterculture, but our culture. Still a challenge to the powerful, especially folks like me. And yet, even after all these years, Lorne jokes that his tombstone should bear just a single word that's often found in the show's reviews: uneven. As a current U.S. Senator would say, doggone it, Lorne, that's why people like you. He's produced a senator, too. It's pretty impressive. Ellen DeGeneres has a way of making you laugh about something rather than at someone. Except when I danced on her show. She laughed at me. But that's okay. It's easy to forget now. When we've come so far, where now marriage is equal under the law. Just how much courage was required for Ellen to come out on the most public of stages almost 20 years ago. Just how important it was, not just to the LGBT community, but for all of us, to see somebody so full of kindness and light, somebody we liked so much, somebody who could be our neighbor or our colleague or our sister, challenge our own assumptions, remind us that we have more in common than we realize, push our country in the direction of justice. What an incredible burden that was to bear, to risk your career like that. People don't do that very often. And then to have the hopes of millions on your shoulders. But it's like Ellen says, we all want a tortilla chip that can support the weight of guacamole. Which really makes no sense to me. But I thought it would break the mood, because I was getting kind of choked up. And she did pay a price. We don't remember this. I hadn't remembered it. She did, for a pretty long stretch of time. Even in Hollywood. And yet, today, every day, in every way, Ellen counters what too often divides us with the countless things that bind us together, inspires us to be better. One joke, one dance at a time.